I mean, they're projected to lose between 2 and 400 million on this.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Rachel Zegler's Snow White just tanked. Hard. Disney's live-action remake, a $250 million gamble, is bleeding cash, projected to lose over $100 million. And now, whispers are swirling. Disney's furious, pointing fingers at Zegler herself. Did her outspoken comments sabotage the film? Is she really being forced to cough up $120 million? Buckle up. This is a wild ride through Hollywood's latest disaster. Let's dive into the chaos. Disney's Snow White remake hit theaters March 21, 2025, with Rachel Zegler as the iconic princess and Gal Gadot as the evil queen. On paper, it's a slam dunk. Disney's been churning out live-action remake, but Snow White? It's a catastrophe. Opening weekend pulled in a measly $42.2 million domestically. Pathetic for a film with a budget ballooning past $250 million, some say closer to $270 million with marketing. By week 2, it dropped 66%, scraping just $14.2 million, losing the top spot to a Jason Statham action flick. Globally, it's limping at $143.1 million. Deadline's crunching the numbers, estimating a $115 million loss after home video, streaming, and merch. That's a gut punch for the House of Mouse. So what went wrong? This isn't just a case of bad luck. Controversy's been brewing around this film for years, and Zegler's at the center of it. Cast in 2021, the 23-year-old West Side Story breakout star stepped into a role that's sacred to Disney fans. The original 1937 Snow White was the studio's first animated feature. Remaking it was always going to stir the pot, but Zegler's comments threw gasoline on the fire.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
Back in 2022, she told Extra TV the original's love story was weird and dated, slamming the prince as a stalker and pushing a feminist spin where Snow White doesn't need saving. Fans lost it. Social media erupted with accusations of woke pandering, with some calling her casting, Zegler's of Colombian descent, a betrayal of the skin as white as snow fairy tale. Fast forward to August 2024. The trailer drops, clocking 120 million views in 24 hours. Zegler takes to X, thanking fans, then signs off with, "And always remember, free Palestine." Boom, detonator pulled. The Israel-Gaza war's raging, and her co-star Gal Gadot, an Israeli ex-soldier, is vocally pro-Israel. Variety reports producer Mark Platt jetted to New York to confront Zegler over the tweet. She didn't back down, refusing to delete it, though she later apologized for a separate election-related post. Death threats rolled in, Disney beefed up security, and the premiere got scaled back. The film's now a lightning rod in a culture war it never asked for. Box office numbers don't lie, though. That 66% drop in week 2? Brutal. Compare it to Dumbo's 60% slide in 2019, another Disney remake flop, or Maleficent's steadier legs. Snow White's freefall signals audiences aren't just lukewarm, they're done. Critics aren't helping. Rotten Tomatoes sits at 40%, IMDb's at a savage 1.6 to 10, though audiences gave it a 74% popcorn meter score. Reviews call Gadot's evil queen uninspired, and the CGI dwarfs, reimagined as magical. Gnomes after dwarfism backlash, a cheap shortcut. Screen Rant's Rachel Labonte gave it a 5/10, saying it's a disappointing mess. The trailer didn't wow either. Some say it looked AI generated. Costumes straight out of Party City. Now here's where it gets juicy. Posts on X and YouTube thumbnails scream Zegler's being forced to pay back $120 million. Is it true? Let's break it down. The film's budget, pegged at $270 million plus marketing, means Disney needs $500 million just to break even. Standard Hollywood math, where studios split ticket sales with theaters. With a projected $225 million global haul, they're nowhere close. Ancillaries like Disney Plus and DVDs might claw back $192 million per deadline, but that still leaves $115 million whole. So, $120 million's in the ballpark if you round up. But Zegler personally paying it? That's where the rumor smells fishy. Hollywood contracts don't work like that. Zegler's not on the hook for losses. She's not a producer. She likely signed a multi-million-dollar deal, sure, but actors don't repay studios if a film bombs. Take Solo, a Star Wars story, $393 million worldwide against a $275 million budget, a rare Star Wars dud. Did Alden Ehrenreich write a check? Nope. Disney ate it, same here. The $120 million claim seems to stem from clickbait, fueled by outrage over Zegler's PR missteps. Posts like Rachel Zegler forced to pay back $120 million after Snow White flop? From users like Orangles amplify the narrative, but there's no evidence Disney's suing her or docking her pay. That said, Disney's not happy. Mark Platt's son, Jonah, lit into Zegler on Instagram, blaming her for tanking the film. In a now-deleted rant, he wrote, "My dad, the producer of this enormous Disney IP with hundreds of millions on the line, had to fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into promoting the movie she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to do. Ouch." Then Sean Ono Lennon, yeah, John Lennon's kid, piled on, calling her a disconnected brat on X, tying her spoiled attitude to the flop. Even Ariana DeBose, Zegler's West Side Story co-star, reposted Jonah's quote, stirring the pot before backtracking, claiming she didn't know the context. Zegler's not without defenders. Pedro Pascal posted her pic on Instagram stories. Captioned, "Your icon," though he caught flack for it, fans dragged him for not backing Gina Carano when Disney axed her from The Mandalorian. Some ex-users argue Zegler's talent shines through, that the hate's overblown. She doesn't deserve this vilification, one wrote. Others point out the film's woes go beyond her. Godot's pro-Israel stance sparked boycotts too, and Disney's remake fatigue is real. The Little Mermaid and Mufasa. The Lion King leaned on nostalgia and still pulled bigger numbers. Snow White's modern take, ditching the dwarfs, tweaking the story, might have alienated more fans than it won. So is Disney going nuclear on Zegler? Not legally, no. There's no lawsuit, no $120 million clawback. But the court of public opinion's ruthless. Her comments gave ammo to a smear campaign. Review bombs hit IMDb hard, and conservative outlets like the Daily Mail ran headlines like "Woke Snow White Disaster." Danica Patrick trolled her on Instagram, reposting a critical video with, "Bye-bye." The backlash is personal. Sean Lennon even swiped at her looks. Zegler's doubled down, though, pivoting to music with a Shrek cover, signaling she's not caving. Let's zoom out. Disney's live-action streak's been shaky. Dumbo lost money. Mufasa's underperforming early buzz suggests trouble ahead. Snow White's budget spiraled. $150 million would have softened the blow, but $250 million plus? Reckless. The studio's got a spending problem, and this flop's a wake-up call. Zegler's not the sole scapegoat. Director Mark Webb's vision didn't click. Godot's casting split audiences, and the script's feminist overhaul felt forced to some. The New Yorker called it a stupid and sinister mess tied to broader cultural rifts. What's the real cost to Zegler? Her career's taken a hit. West Side Story bombed too. $76 million against $100 million, though COVID's partly to blame. The Hunger Games prequel did $349 million, her biggest win, but Snow White's stench could linger. She's young, talented, Golden Globe winner at 20, but Hollywood's unforgiving. If Disney distances itself, her next gigs might dry up. Still, she's got Romeo plus Juliet rehearsals, a lifeline to pivot. The $120 million rumor's a stretch, but the damage is real. Disney's licking its wounds, Zegler's dodging pitchforks, and fans are split. Some boycotting, others rallying. Could an early influencer screening have saved it, like Deadline? Suggested? Maybe. Could Disney have muzzled Zegler's tweets? Doubtful. She's a Gen Z star raised on unfiltered X. This isn't her paying cash. It's her paying in reputation. And just when you think it's over, whispers hit X last night. Disney's board is meeting tomorrow, and Snow White's fallout is agenda item 1. What's their next move? And just when you think it's over. Whispers hit X last night. Disney's board is meeting tomorrow, and Snow White's fallout is agenda item 1. What's their next move? The room's buzzing with tension. Insiders say CEO Bob Iger's fuming, not just at the $115 million loss, but at how this PR nightmare's spiraling. Rachel Zegler's name keeps coming up, and the stakes are climbing. Disney's not just fighting a flop, they're battling a full-blown identity crisis. Let's rewind a bit. That board meeting? It's not just routine. X posts from industry leakers claim Iger's pushing for a course correction after Snow White's crash. The film's barely 2 weeks into its theatrical run, April 3rd, 2025, today's date, and it's already a punching bag. Global box office ticked up to $148.7 million overnight, but that's chump change against the $500 million break-even mark. Disney Plus projections are grim too. Analysts say it'll pull 20 million streams tops, nowhere near The Little Mermaid's 112 million debut. Merch is tanking. Snow White dolls are clogging Walmart shelves, marked down 40%. This isn't a hiccup, it's a hemorrhage. Zegler's caught in the crosshairs. Her X activities dialed back since the Free Palestine firestorm, but the damage is done. Hashtags like "Fire Rachel Zegler" and "Boycott Snow White" are trending again, fueled by clips of her 2022 interviews bashing the original fairy tale. One X user, a Truth Seeker 88, dug up an old podcast where she joked, "Snow White's not even that white. Maybe I'm the real princess here." It's a throwaway line, but in 2025's polarized climate, it's red meat for critics. The Daily. Wire's running with it, claiming she mocked a classic. Her defenders fire back. Zegler stand for life posts. She's 23, give her a break, this is targeted harassment. Both sides are dug in, and Disney's stuck in the middle. The board's not just eyeing Zegler, though. Gal Gadot's role's under scrutiny, too. Her pro-Israel posts from October 2024 resurface weekly, and boycotts tied to her casting are hitting hard in Middle Eastern markets. Saudi Arabia and Qatar, big Disney earners, slashed screenings, costing an estimated $12 million. Gadot's Evil Queen was supposed to be the film's anchor, but her $15 million paycheck's looking like a bad bet. Critics say she phoned it in. Variety's Owen Gleiberman wrote, "Gadot's charisma's wasted on a one-note villain. Pair that with Zegler's heat, and you've got a lead duo that's splitting audiences faster than a guillotine." Then there's the production mess. Mark Webb, the director, pitched this as his Spider-Man comeback, gritty, grounded, a fresh Snow White. Instead, it's a $270 million misfire. Sources say the budget ballooned after reshoots in late 2024, triggered by test screenings that tanked. Audiences hated the CGI gnomes, replacing the Seven Dwarfs after Peter Dinklage called the original backwards. The fix? Throw $30 million at VFX house Weta, only for the gnomes to look like Shrek rejects. X-users like UG Cinema Fanatic post side-by-sides with the 1937 dwarfs captioned, "Disney traded soul for this?" Webb's vision, less singing, more empowerment, didn't land either. The soundtrack's DOA, Ziegler's Whistle While You Work cover peaked at number 87 on Spotify. Disney's live-action playbook's crumbling. Aladdin and the Lion King leaned on nostalgia, $1 billion each. Snow White gambled on reinvention, and it's backfired. Mufasa. The Lion King, out last December, pulled $620 million. Not great, but not this bad. Snow White's 40% Rotten Tomatoes scores a new low, and the 1.610 IMDb ratings a troll-fueled anomaly, over 200,000 votes, suspiciously fast. Compare that to Pinocchio's 4.210. It flopped quietly on Disney Plus without this circus. The board's asking, why'd this one blow up? Zegler's not the only one sweating. Mark Platt, the producer, greenlit this mess. His son Jonah's Instagram rant, blaming Zegler, hints at family tension, but Platt's the one who signed off on the $250 million budget. He's got Wicked Part 2 next, a safer bet with Ariana Grande, but Snow White's stain could follow? Him. Iger's reportedly grilling execs. Why'd marketing lean so hard into Zegler's modern princess angle? Trailers hyped her empowerment arc, not the fairy tale fans wanted. One X post from a Disney insider claims a fired PR exec leaked, "They thought Gen Z would eat it up. They didn't. The $120 million payback rumor's still floating, but it's morphing." Now X posts suggest Disney's punishing Zegler by freezing her out of future projects. No evidence backs that. She's not under an exclusive contract, but the chatter's loud. Her team's quiet. Her last X post, March 30th, was a cryptic, "Keep going." Meanwhile, Sean Ono Lennon's at it again, tweeting, "She's the Yoko of Disney flops, tying her to his parents' breakup. It's brutal, personal, and relentless." Let's talk numbers again. Disney's stock dipped 3% this week, 112.45. As of yesterday. Not a free fall, but investors are jittery. Snow White's loss isn't fatal. $115 million stings, but Avengers. Endgame made $2.8 billion. Still, it's a pattern. Dumbo lost $70 million, Solo $80 million. The board's worried about brand erosion. Disney's not invincible anymore. Universal's eating their lunch with Mario and Minions. Netflix is churning cheaper hits. Snow White's a symptom of a bigger rot. Bloated budgets, tone-deaf remakes, and a fan base that's fed up. Zegler's career is the real cliffhanger. She's got Romeo plus Juliet on Broadway. Rehearsals start soon, but Hollywood's whispering. Will studios touch her? The Hunger Games prequel proved she can draw, $349 million. But Snow White's tainting her star power. Ex-users like AFilmGeek101 say she's box office poison now. Others argue she's a scapegoat. A Rachel's fans posts, "Disney botched this, not her." Her Shrek cover, "I'm a Believer," hit YouTube last week. 1.2 million views. Solid. But the comments are a war zone. Love her voice, hate her attitude versus Queen, ignore the haters. Disney's next move's the kicker. That board meeting tomorrow, April 4th, 2025, could shift everything. Leaks suggest 3 options. Double down on streaming, pushing Snow White to Disney Plus by May to salvage views, cut losses and bury it, like Artemis Fowl, or pivot hard, slashing budgets for future remakes. Iger's legacy's on the line. He came back in 2022 to fix this ship, but flops keep piling. Ex-posts from Unhollywood Scoop claim he's eyeing Zegler's team for a gag order. Too late for that. The culture war's not dying down either. Godot's Israeli roots and Zegler's activism keep clashing. Boycotts are spreading to Europe now, with protests planned at London screenings. The film's a Rorschach test. Conservatives call it woke garbage. Progressives say it's not bold enough. Disney's caught in no man's land, pleasing no one. The original Snow White was a unifier, $418 million in today's dollars. A Depression-era miracle. This? It's a fracture. What's Zegler doing? She's off X, but paparazzi caught her in New York yesterday. Head down, no comment. Her Shrek pivot's smart. Music's her lane, less baggage. But the hate's not slowing. Danica Patrick's latest Instagram jab, "Karma's a mirror," got 50,000 likes. Ziegler's not paying $120 million, but she's paying in clout. Disney's not suing her. They can't, but they're not defending her either. Silence from Burbank speaks volumes. The board's decision's looming. If they pull Snow White from theaters early, it's a white flag, admitting defeat. If they push it, they're betting on a miracle. Either way, Zegler's the face of this fiasco, fair or not. Her next move's critical. Broadway's a reset. But Hollywood's memory's long. Disney's too, another flop like this, and heads roll. Platt's on thin ice, Webb's toast, and Iger's patience is shot. And then there's this. An ex-post from Insider Rannon, 2 a.m. today, claims Disney's got a secret Snow White cut, 20 minutes shorter, with the dwarfs back in. Test footage exists. Are they crazy enough to try a re-release?